Cumming, Georgia is a popular town here in North Georgia, and it sits in Forsyth County. You're going to find it on the southwest end of Lake Lanier, which makes it a highly desirable place to live. And it is part of the Atlanta metropolitan area and widely populated by people who work in the city but choose to live in the suburbs and commute into work. And it's only about 39 miles from the heart of Atlanta and 15 miles from Alpharetta. Who would not want to live here? Hi, I'm Sarah Maslowski, and I am a team owner here in the North Georgia area, and we help people from all over the country relocate to the North Metro Atlanta area. Now, Cumming itself is not that large of a city. It has a population of less than 9,000 people. So what does it cost to live in Cumming, and why should you consider living here? Cumming is one of the several towns we hear from clients mention when they reach out wanting to move to the area. It's understandable why it's so popular with its great location, shopping, and schools. In fact, it's one of our most popular videos. Make sure you check out this video that covers all the pros and cons about living in Cumming. And one of the things that comes up on that con list is the cost of living. So let's get into that and talk about how much it costs to live in Cumming. If you've watched the other true cost videos on my channel, then you already know the drill. I love to reference a website called bestplaces.org, which is a website that breaks down the cost of living in towns all across the US. They use a scale of 100 to describe the overall cost of living in an area compared to the national average. Now, the state of Georgia as a whole has a score of 93, which is below the national average of 100. And so Cumming ranks in at a score of 116, which is clearly higher than both the national average and well over the state average as well. If you watch my other videos, you might recognize this is a good bit higher than towns like Jefferson, Flowery Branch, and Gainesville. But these aren't very good comparisons since Cumming is definitely closer to Atlanta than all of those other towns that I talked about. Alpharetta, however, which is much more comparable to Cumming, recently ranked at a score of 125. So Cumming is a less expensive option if you want to be a bit closer to the city, still be close to the lake, and have great developments around you. When it comes to the cost of homes, Cumming ranked a score of 145. According to Realtor.com, the current median sales price of a home in Cumming is a whopping $475,000. At the time of filming this video, there are currently 191 homes listed for sale in our local MLS system. Those homes have a price range anywhere between $150,000 all the way up to $13.5 million. And you're going to find that a majority of these listings are listed in the upper $300,000 to $600,000 range. The fact that there are only 191 homes on the market should tell you something about how popular of a place Cumming is. You also have to keep in mind that Cumming is not that big of a town when it comes to the actual measurements of all the area that it covers. These higher prices stem from the fact that you have easy access to Lake Lanier and a relatively easy access to Atlanta. Though, if you're local to the area, you know what a nightmare Georgia 400 can be. Something that I can't fail to mention when talking about Cumming that drives up prices is the awesome schools. So Forsyth County schools are rated the #2 best school district in Georgia according to niche.com, which is a great tool for researching schools. They also have a graduation rate of 94%, which is pretty great compared to the state average of 84%. One thing that does make Georgia so attractive to so many people who are relocating from another state is the lower property taxes. So property taxes in Cumming will run a little bit higher compared to other towns in the state because home values are higher, but you can still expect to pay a lot less in property taxes if you're coming from states like Florida, California, New Jersey. I know I pick on these states a lot, but these are where a majority of people are reaching out from, and they always want to know what the property taxes are going to be whenever they get here. And they're so excited because they're leaving that high cost of living behind them. If you live in Cumming, you're more than likely going to be in a community with HOA fees. Now, these fees can vary from several hundreds of dollars a year to a few $1,000s a year, depending upon whether or not you're kind of like in a gated community, what the amenities are, and the price range of the homes in the neighborhood. This is an expense that not everyone is used to paying for annually, but it does help keep property values high, which in return is a great investment in the long run. Now, depending upon some of the areas that you're moving from, you may find a couple $100s to $1,000 a year relatively cheap. Some clients that I've talked to, they're used to paying that much each month for their HOA. Of course, you're going to find homes in Cumming that aren't in a community with an HOA, and we can help you find the perfect property that fits your needs if you don't want to be in a subdivision. But this is a cost that you should prepare for upfront and take into consideration when you're budgeting for your move. Like most of the other towns I've talked about on my channel, aside from the cost of homes, most categories that are used to rank cost of living in Cumming come right in at the national average. So healthcare scored an 87, which is well below the national average. At transportation, you're looking at a score of 111. So at the time of filming this video, a gallon of gas comes in around $3.19 a gallon. And I mentioned this when I talked about the cost of living in Alpharetta not too long ago, but recently I was in California and was shocked at how close to $5 a gallon gas was there. The current national average at the time of filming this video sits at $3.42. So I think that ranking of 111 for transportation is a bit high. Now, Uber and Lyft aren't hugely popular here, and there really isn't public transportation, so to speak. So you're going to need a car. And of course, there are times when you can find an Uber or a Lyft, but you're definitely not going to count on that as your mode of transportation to get around town. When it comes to utilities and groceries, both of those are ranked right near the national average. You are going to need to run your air conditioning for many months out of the year, most months out of the year, but luckily your wallet won't suffer because of that. While we're talking about air conditioning, I should answer a few questions that I get on this subject all the time. The first is, if I have ceiling fans, will I still need to run my air all summer long? That is a question that I recently had with a client, and that answer is yes. Yes, you will most definitely need that air conditioning. The second thing that I get all the time is, I need a home with central air and not window units. Great news. Just about every single house that you are going to want to buy in the state of Georgia is going to have central air. I can't say they all do, because there's always that exception, because there's an exception to everything. But if you're buying a home built within at least the last 20 years that's over 900 square feet, it's going to have central air. In fact, lenders require it to give you a loan. Like I mentioned earlier, Cumming has a plethora of restaurants and shopping. And as far as groceries go, you've got a ton of great options. You've got Publix and Aldi, Ingles, and Sprouts. There's a huge variety of options and several more affordable options like Aldi. I love their cheese selection. If you're building a great charcuterie board, that is the place to go. There are several different shopping strips with everything from Costco and Walmart, TJ Maxx and Home Goods and everything in between. And the piece de resistance that you have that most other surrounding towns do not, and that is a super Target. It's very super. So what do you think? Do you think you'll add Cumming to the top of your list of options? Check out these videos on my channel if you still need a bit more information to make up your mind. Wherever you decide to move, we are here to help you. Don't forget to reach out. Our contact information is below. We look forward to hearing from you.